Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. Well, the first tourism of the first forum, actually, of the heads of the African investment promotion agencies, which runs from the 11th until the 14th of June in Sharm el-Sheikh under the slogan of integration for growth. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to host this morning in the breakfast show Mr. Elhamy Zayat, the former chairperson of the Egyptian Tourism Federation. Good morning,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Zayat.
Good morning.
Now, this forum, Mr. Zayat, what is it, the importance and the significance of this forum for the tourism sector in Egypt?
For the tourism sector in general, it's for the investment in the tourism activities. We know after the COVID-19, there have been a terrible slowdown in tourism movement, in tourism investment, in airline business. All of it has suffered tremendously from COVID-19. Now, we want and we know that there are great opportunities coming in the years to starting 24. Even if now it's a bit slow, it will all start again in 24. So Egypt going ahead with plans to prepare for this, and because we have the new cities and because we have constructed all these new roads, we are trying to look for more opportunities to develop a superstructure for tourism, i.e. hotels, all the rest. The government is taking very good care of the infrastructure, but the superstructure needs developers.
Yes.
So this is what it's all about. We're trying to look for developers, trying to show the advantages Egypt offers, the advantage in attracting people, present, future, and I can say also past, because we have always been a center of attraction.
Yes, Mr. Zayat, how can this forum help in promoting tourism through Egypt's historical monuments?
Thank you. This is very important. Well, Egypt started being on the map, on the tourist map, always because of its monuments. Traditionally, people came to Egypt to visit Cairo, Luxor, Aswan. Now, we extended Hurghada, we extended Sharm el-Sheikh in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, and then we went to Marsa Alam. Now we are expanding on the north coast. But the core of the business and the business that makes money for Egypt is still the classic tours, which means Cairo, Luxor, Aswan. We have had a lot of addition in the past few months. We saw the new Museum of Civilization.
Yes.
And maybe you've watched this magnificent movement to move the coffins of the 22 kings and queens.
Yes.
And this is something. The new Egyptian Museum, which is absolutely a great thing because it's really fantastic.
Yes, we're going to discuss deeply this points, of course. So, Mr. Zayat, what are the other forms of tourism promotion did the forum talk about or discuss, such as the entertainment, the beaches at the Red Sea, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Hurghada, in the Mediterranean in general?
Yes. Basically, what we are lacking, and we've been lacking, is that we developed a lot of hotels, but we always neglected in the tourism development the amusement, the parks. And this is essential because people were used to get the tourists, keeping them in a hotel, eat food, drinks, etc., and then that's it. On and off, there were some center of attraction, like in Sharm el-Sheikh, Nama Bay, and then Soho. But there were few things, not enough to substantiate for a tourist to stay longer. That's number one. Number two, for a whole family to enjoy the trip.
Yes.
Because maybe I am a male, I want to go to Hurghada for diving.
Yes.
Or for boat activities, my wife, but the kids. And sometimes you have to think, if the husband is a diver, his wife, you have to keep her busy. And the kids, if they have, you have to keep them busy.
Yes.
So you have to have an attraction for all ages and all people. That's why we centered many discussions on attractions.
Yes.
What can we do? Actually, this started in 2015. We started this plan with the tourism development branch of the Ministry of Tourism, but it didn't see enough movement. It didn't see people who came seriously to do things. But now, with all the new cities, etc., I think we ought to have on the road to the new capital, or the new capital, Disneyland or something.
Yes.
Because
The new administrative capital,
exactly,
you mean?
on the way.
Yeah, on the way.
Because
to the new administrative capital.
exactly, because if you develop the road to the new administrative, you'll have the hotels, you'll have the universities, but also you can develop something which requires a lot of space.
Yes.
And don't forget, we have a dry climate.
Yeah.
We are not raining like it is in France, for instance.
Egypt has a very good atmosphere.
Very good. And it's not as hot as Orlando, for instance, in the United States. Orlando is humid. Egypt is not humid. It's in summer in these dry areas. It's okay, it's hot, but it's windy and it's nice. So we can develop, I think we should aim at developing something like this, so you can fill the hotels around it year round. Not only with business people, not only with families of students, but also with people who are coming for these attractions.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Zayat, how can we promote, you've just mentioned the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is about to be inaugurated very soon. They finished 98% of the museum.
Yes.
So.
It's expected to be completed by the end of this year.
Of course, in light of this forum, to promote in light of this forum, of course.
As I said earlier, Egypt was known for its cultural side.
Yes.
People came because you have everything in Egypt, from prehistorical time, which you can see very well in the Museum of Civilization, to Jewish, Christian, Muslim, you know, Pharaonic, of course, Roman, Greeks. Even we had Persians at one point, not many, they didn't last many years, but they were there. So we have a lot of things we can offer to the guest. The Grand Egyptian Museum has one advantage. It's the largest museum centered on one civilization, which is the Pharaonic civilization. 1/3 of it is centered on Tutankhamun, which will have 5,500 pieces exhibited in this museum.
5,398 pieces.
That's correct.
A large number of pieces, of course.
Yes. We round it up to 5,500.
Approximately.
Approximately, but you are absolutely right. It's 5,398. And they have been restoring all these things for the past few years, and it's amazing and it's splendid how they restored all these pieces. They've been restored by Egyptians. And I have seen, for instance, the shoes or the sandal of Tutankhamun.
And the mask.
And the mask.
The golden mask.
More beautiful is the shield. You know, he had a shield to fight. And this was dust almost in part, very few parts. You could see it now. It's fantastic. I mean, what they have restored, the papyrus. And then they restored also the wood and the rocks. I mean, anything which is carved in rocks or whatever, it has been restored. So they have 3 main restoration rooms. One for things like papyrus, like sandals, and you should see the sandals. I'm astonished because you could see them, they were dust, almost. And now it's restored, you see something. So it's absolutely amazing. And this gives you an idea about the great Egyptian civilization. On the stairs of the museum, while walking in, you have, of course, the big statue of Ramses II greeting people, but you have 78 other statues and monuments spread on the stairs. So I think this will be an attraction in itself. And you could see there are a lot of hotels now being built in the area,
Yes.
because they suspect they will have a lot of movement.
Yes, concerning the hotels here in Cairo, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Hurghada, now with the hotels in Egypt taking the stamp.
Yes.
Yes, could you give us an idea about concerning this? The stamp?
The stamp of
yes.
green hotels.
Yes, of green
course.
hotels.
Yes, we have been asking for this for many years, which means to reduce all carbon emission
Yes.
as much as possible. So some hotels have, and this applies especially to the Hurghada, Sharm, etc., where they produce their own electricity, where they have their water plants, etc. So they need to minimize the usage of.
Why is it important, this stamp for the tourists?
Because now that's the name of the game. Everybody, Joe Biden was in Europe talking about what?
Yes.
Climate change.
Yes.
We all see the suffering. We are suffering from climate change. If you notice now, winter came when? This January.
Yes.
And it lasted until May, which is unusual, because May we had cool days. So the summer will be horribly hot, of course. So the temperature has changed. If we don't wake up now,
recognize this, yes,
and recognize and do something, and Egypt has done. I mean, electricity generated by solar is done behind the high dam now. There is a huge plant for generating electricity by solar, and Egypt is in the belt of solar energy, because we have a lot of sun concentrating on this belt.
Yes.
This is one of the countries that enjoy this privilege. So we have built a big solar energy plant behind the high dam, and we are going to do as much as possible. If every hotel can at least heat the water with solar energy, you know, you don't have to start with producing big electricity, but at least heat the water.
Yes.
So this will reduce the emission of carbon, and this will make it green. So we have had this, in fact, since 2015, a plan for this, but now it's moving much faster. We had only 17, 18 who were abiding by this. I cannot mention names, of course, but I know them, and they have done the exercise. But now we need everybody to do this exercise. Now you will tell me, okay, we'll have to, and these are the opportunities for investment. You can invest in this solar energy plant in these areas, and the hotels can buy it from you, because not everybody has the means to produce his own power.
Yes.
So you can do it centrally and distribute it. So there are, as we said, amusement, but there are also opportunities in investing in green energy, or energy that's renewable energy.
Yes, and now the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Dr. Khaled Al-Anani, is attending this conference, of course, or forum, beside Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, the Prime Minister. So how is Egypt acting in such a first forum, which is the first of its kind? Egypt is presenting Egypt, of course, presenting civilization, presenting a country in Africa encompassing a large number of monuments. So how is Egypt presenting itself to Africa, and what is Egypt going to provide to African countries concerning the tourism sector?
Okay, we can provide many things. First of all, we can provide assistance, technical assistance.
Yes.
We have had a lot of experience. We have experienced engineers, we have experienced builders, we have experienced people in all aspects that are required for the promotion and for the development of tourism. For the promotion, we have had a lot of experience, because we have been promoting tourism when it was small, because we are the first to participate in the Berlin big exhibition since the 60s. So we have accumulated experience. Plus, we have had many problems since the 90s of terrorism, of 9/11, all the problems we have. So we have accumulated also a lot of experience in handling crisis.
Yes.
So we can be a good backup for our African friends and partners and the people who share our continent. And we can share our experience with them, and we can develop there. I mean,
Yes.
we know we have a lot of companies that
Yes.
have experience in development, so they can go there and develop. Plus, the most important thing now, we can also have what we call joint programs in marketing.
Coordination, you mean?
Exactly.
A kind of coordination between Egypt and the African
another
countries.
country, exactly. Exactly. We can do Egypt and hopefully soon Sudan, for instance, which was required a lot, but we couldn't do it in the past.
Yes.
When the previous regime was in Sudan, it was impossible. But you know, in the north of Sudan, you have pyramids.
Yes.
You had the civilization close to the Egyptian civilization in Nubia. So up to the fifth cataract, just before Khartoum. So this is a part that people want to visit. So we can do joint programs, Egypt, Sudan.
Yes.
So there is a lot that can be developed in this area.
Yes. Also, during this conference, which is the first of its kind, how is Egypt also presenting itself after transferring the kings, the 22 kings and queens from the Egyptian museum in Tahrir to the Egyptian of civilization, the Egyptian Museum of Civilization in El Fustat, and also the inauguration of the El Fustat Museum.
Yes. Maybe you haven't been to El Fustat Museum, but
No,
the nice thing you have
I've
been.
went before.
I
I've
admire
been there before.
the way they exhibit the
Yes.
mummies, because you see.
No, I didn't visit the
no, I
mummies there,
visited.
but I
So
visited
on
the
the
museum.
upper floor. You have everything from prehistorical 15,000 years
Yes.
BC to today,
Yes.
including all the as we said earlier, the Greeks, the
details,
Romans,
yes.
the Jewish, the Christians, the Muslim. So all of it is there, and that's interesting. Plus until today, as I said. So, and the good thing is on the lower floor you go down.
Yes.
So you feel you are going really to a cemetery, to something which has a lot of prestige.
Yes.
And you go down and you have the
So
sarcophagus.
the way the
It's
monuments
exhibited,
is
beautiful.
displayed, yes,
Beautiful.
very good.
The sarcophagus, and then
Yes.
you have statues if possible, or pictures, and explanation. And sometimes you have the sarcophagus and the mummy outside. So you have both.
Yes.
So you can understand how it's all done. I believe it's worthwhile to show even this part only.
Yes.
So it's fantastic. Plus the whole area has been cleaned up. Ain Sira is back and hopefully people will go there for bathing or for other activities as it used to be in the past.
Yes. So the outcome concerning this first forum of investment in Africa, what do we expect the following up concerning the tourism sector and also investment
Tourism
between
sector,
Egypt and
I mean,
African countries?
This will make noise.
Yes.
And it's always good to have a conference. A conference is a public relation exercise. People hear about the conference. So the people who have the means would like to come and visit. Or else they will start, if they are young or whatever, they will start visiting. And now we have on the web, Egypt has produced a visit for all sites. You can see it on the web. So it attracts. This is the backup of the conference, because you have the conference and then you don't want people to forget. So you can tell them visit. If you don't have the means, financial means, you can visit. Plus, of course, it's PR because people abroad, not only African countries, but it's done for African, but they will hear that we had a conference for investment. So they will ask, what are the privileges? What do we get? Like people said, we want some tax exemption for putting something like, I don't know, Disneyland or anything like this. I do not believe now in tax exemption. All what we need is to have a fixed, known tax scheme that we run for the next 50 years. So people have confidence. They say, I will come, I'll have to pay 5%, I'll have to pay 25%. If my feasibility is okay, I will come.
Yes.
If not, I will not come. But if I come, I don't want to see 26 tomorrow, because this destroy the image, destroy all what we would have done to attract the people to come to Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I thank you very much for your
Thank
time
you.
and for
Thank
coming today and for your valuable information, Mr. Elhamy Zayat, the Egyptian former chairman of the Tourism Federation in Egypt. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following me in this segment. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I leave you with more segments coming up next in The Breakfast Show.